Hi, I'm Donna from donnaonthebeach.com and welcome to this week's video where I want to talk about getting comfortable with failure. So this week on my Facebook page I shared this update. It's about the January daily practice, which is to set yourself up for success. Going after success means risking failure. C'est la vie. It's no big deal to fail. It means you tried. You learned something new and you're closer to success. And I just wanted to expand a little bit on that because I know that a lot of people are terrified of failure to the point that they don't actually want to try because they don't want to fail. And I used to be like that too, and to an extent still have that mindset a little bit. And I, with every project, and a lot of things that I do, I have to get past that fear of failure. I have to be okay that something is going to bomb. I have to be okay that I do a video and nobody watches it, or I record a podcast and no one listens, or I write an article and no one cares. I have to be okay with the possibility that it's not going to work out. I have to be okay with failure, because if I wasn't, I'd never record a video, I'd never write an article, I'd never record a podcast, I'd never sign on a new client, I would never release a new ebook or product or anything. I would never do any of it because I would be terrified of failure. And as a business, that really wouldn't work too well. So I've had to get okay with that fear of failure and get comfortable with the idea that not everything I try is going to work, and that some things you do that you think, yeah, that's okay. And I've created programs that I've thought this isn't great at all, and they've got rave reviews. And what? How did that happen? You know, I thought it sucked, and then I've created programs that I thought were fantastic and I wish I'd had, and I just love, and nobody turns up, and I think, huh? What happened? So you have to get comfortable with it, and you have to understand that it's not personal, that it's not that you are terrible at whatever you failed at. It's not that you suck. It's not that you shouldn't be doing whatever it is you're doing. It's not that you should never try. It's just that you failed, and it's no big deal. C'est la vie. It happens. Failure happens. And I saw a conversation on Twitter between the guy from Dragon's Den, Peter Jones. I was just going to say the tall one because I couldn't remember his name. Peter Jones and Richard Branson, and they were talking about failure just being feedback, and it really stuck with me because these guys are hugely successful, wealthy businessmen. And they have failed thousands of times. Everyone who you admire has probably failed a few times. But here's the thing, you don't get to see the failures unless you watch somebody from the moment they start their enterprise. If you're a fly on the wall and you can see everything, you'll never get to know about the failures. You'll just see the end product, the success, where they're smiling on a red carpet with a beautiful frock. That's all you'll see. You won't see the auditions that they went to that they didn't get. You won't see the rejection letters from publishers. You won't see the bank statements showing that their business made no money in the last year. You know, you won't see all of that stuff because it doesn't get played out in the public eye. Success does, but failure tends to be something you kind of keep to yourself. And I know that whenever I've had something or done something that's totally bombed, I haven't then gone on Facebook and Twitter and gone, yay, I had something that totally failed, fantastic. No, I'm at home licking my wounds and thinking, oh God, okay, what do I do now? What next? And what has this failure taught me? What feedback have I got from this? What have I understood from this? What have I learned? What do I now know that will help me succeed in the future? I'm at home, quietly, privately, talking to my friends about the fact that I failed, but not telling the wide world that I failed. Number one, because no one wants to admit that they're a failure. Number two, because at that moment, it's pretty raw, it hurts. And you think, oh, I tried, and I just failed, and I didn't do what I said I was going to do, and that's not something that you want to share. Success, on the other hand, when you reach a milestone or do something amazing, you want to shout it from the rooftops. Failure, not so much. And that's completely understandable. And for a lot of people, they don't talk about the failure ever. I'm quite happy to say I've been in business for 9 years. I have many failures in the last 9 years. Many, many, many. Some of them I'm really glad they failed, because if they'd succeeded, that would have not been the right thing for me. Some of them I still cannot believe they didn't succeed. And some of them I'm still like, okay, I got that feedback. I'm going to keep going and keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. It's just part of life. It's part of when you go after things that are important to you, you're going to risk failure. To succeed, you have to risk failing. You can't get to the other side of the river without leaving this bank. You just can't do it. You've got to go, and you've got to risk failure. So, to my mind, you've got to get comfortable with failure, because if you're not, you can never risk it, because it's like this big, bad monster that's going to eat you. But actually it's not. It hurts, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying failing's great. I love failing. I don't. I hate it. Failing sucks. And it makes you feel like you suck. But you can move on from it. And because it's an inevitable thing, like it's been snowing here for what feels like forever. The world has been white, and don't even talk to me about how pretty it is, because I don't care. I hate the stuff. It's cold and it's miserable and I don't like it, and it's starting to get to the point where it's too deep for my dog. So another reason to dislike it. I don't like snow, but it happens, and I have to deal with it unless I move to a more temperate climate, which, trust me, is on the radar. But I have to deal with it because it happens. I have to deal with winter because it happens where I live. I just have to deal with it. And failure is the same thing. It's going to happen. It's going to hurt. But it's fine. It's no big deal. It's not a big problem. Yes, it hurts, but you get over it. Yes, it's painful, but you learn from it. Yes, it sucks. But it will help inform you so that you can succeed in the future. Some of the biggest failures that I've had were because of just being completely oblivious of what I needed to do to make a project succeed, and just not having the first clue, thinking that, if you build it, they will come. I've discovered this is not necessarily the case, because the they who will come have to learn about you somehow. So, if you're sat in a little corner of the internet all by yourself, they ain't going to come because they ain't going to know you're there. So, so it taught me the value of marketing, actually. A lot of my early business failures taught me the value of marketing, which was a really great lesson for me to learn as a business person, because marketing is a huge part of the business, and I hadn't really given it that much thought at that time. So your failures can be your greatest teachers and help you to move the furthest forward, or they can be the thing that brings the shutters down and stops you from living a life that you love. The fear of failing again, or at all, can be the thing that keeps you trapped in a life where you feel like you've lost your mojo, and you like, is this it? You wake up every day thinking, oh great, another day, fantastic. But if you get comfortable with the idea that if you try and you fail, it's fine, it's no big deal, then you can keep moving towards the things that make your heart sing. You can keep moving towards falling 100% in love with your life and loving every joyful adventure, even if that adventure means putting your foot in a pothole and falling over. So as a piece of homework for you this week, look at your life and look at where you've been afraid to fail, and go ahead and try anyway. I know I'm asking a big thing, I know I am, but I'm going to ask you to do it anyway. You don't have to You know, you don't have to do the thing that terrifies you the most. Maybe do a small thing that scares you a little bit. But allow yourself the possibility of failing. And I remember seeing somewhere an exercise where the whole point of the exercise was to get 100 no's. It was a sales exercise, and the whole point of the exercise was to fail. And the reason for the exercise was to get you comfortable with hearing no, get you comfortable with failing, get you comfortable to learn that it's, do you know what, it's okay if not every single person you meet becomes a client or buys your book or buys your product or whatever. It's okay. Failure's not that big a deal. So go out there and fail. And on the way, you'll learn so many things that will help you succeed, I promise you. And really, once you get used to it, failure's not, it doesn't hurt that much. The first few times it hurts like hell, but after a while you're kind of like, oh, well, that sucks. That's shit. Next! And you become more resilient, basically, to failure. You develop some kind of immunity to failure. It hasn't stopped hurting for me yet, I have to say. But it doesn't hurt as much as it did the first time I failed. The first time really hurt badly, and I think I put my head under the duvet for a week. The last time I failed, I sat and had a mopey face for about an hour, ate some chocolate biscuits, and then got on with the next thing. So it's all good. As ever, I would love it if you would share this video with somebody who you know, who you think needs to get more comfortable with failure, or somebody who you know has a really big dream and they're just too scared to take steps because they don't want to fail. Please share this video with them and help them move forward in their life. Thank you so much. And also, if you would like to comment on this video, leave a comment below, or come over to my website, donnaonthebeach.com. Find me on Facebook, facebook.com/donnaonthebeach. On Twitter, twitter.com/donnaonthebeach, and I would love to hear from you. Take really good care of yourselves, and I will see you next time. Bye.